Hey everyone, today we're talking about the NiftyLift TM34T. It is a 40-foot boom lift that's going to get you up where you need to get up into the trees or to do your gutters, your roofs, essentially anywhere that you want to get up high and do it safely and not use a ladder. Now, the other thing that's great about the NiftyLift TM34T is that it's a dual piston machine or dual cylinder machine. Basically, you have the ability to go up and then out. So instead of some of the other machines or the other boom lifts where they have just a single cylinder, which means you're going up and out at the same time, this is all independent. So you can go up this way and then out that way and then over and around. So when you get into these tree situations and you've got to get up and around all these branches, having a dual cylinder machine is a huge advantage. So today I'm going to show you how to get it started, how to use it, and an actual demonstration of knocking a couple branches off these trees that I have to get done anyhow. So let's just get started. And the first thing I want you to notice is that this is off the vehicle. You have to be off the vehicle. You cannot use this machine while it's on the vehicle. Now the second thing I want you to notice is that we have the parking brake on. All right, you want to have your parking brake set. So with the lever up, it's good to use. With the lever down, it's good for towing. All right, now the other thing we want to do is we want to make sure that we have our latch taken off. We want that on while we're towing, but we cannot use the boom if it's latched, and you will damage the machine if you try to do that. So that's a real important thing. Make sure it's unlatched before you start using the machine. And when you get to the end and you want to put this thing back, you have to very accurately put it back in the right spot. Now the hydraulics make it really simple to do that, so it's not a big deal. All right, let's keep moving. Gasoline. Obviously, if you run out of gas while you're up high, you're going to have a problem. Now there is a manual pump that you can have someone come down and actually do a hand pump and get you back down, but do you really want to call your wife out and tell her you forgot to put gas in and now she has to pump this machine and get you all the way back down? I don't think so. Anyhow, all you have to do, just look in there. We deliver these full of gas, but if you're going to use it for multiple days or a long time throughout the day, check your gas every time before you get on this thing. Check the gas, make sure you have plenty of gas. Okay, now the other thing I want to do, I want to level this, at least give myself a good starting point before I put the outriggers down. And there are levels right there that tell me if this is level or not. So it has two levels, one forward and backward and the other side to side. So now we've got it off the vehicle, we have our brake set, we have our latch removed. I've double checked that I have plenty of gas in there. Actually, just before I just filled it with gas. So, next thing we're going to do, we have to put our outriggers in. So I'm going to take the keys. There's two keys. There's a key for the engine. That's this one. All right. And then there is a key for the control box, which allows the outriggers to operate. It allows the boom to operate. All right. So first we're going to start the engine up. And I'm going to choke it. If you pull the lever this way towards this little symbol that shows the choke, you're choking it. And we want it on full gas. We want our gas on. There's another lever here that turns the gas on and off. So we want the gas on, we want it choked, and we want it at full throttle. I'm going to put the other key in, just so I have it out of my hand. That goes right over here. All right, that key goes right there. And then we'll just fire it up. Okay, now once it's started, we're going to take the choke off. That's all there is to it. Now before I go any further, I just want to talk about a few things. Here, what you're going to see are those levers. Okay, I'm going to zoom in on that a little bit. Okay, this is a two-handed operation. To make these hydraulics work, you have to first activate it. This lever here activates the hydraulics. If I just press these, nothing is going to happen. I have to first activate the levers with this hand, and then come here and work the hydraulics with this hand. Okay? Now the other thing you should do is use 2 at a time. So I'm gonna press 1 and 2 together, and that'll bring my 2 rears down. I'll press 3 and 4 together, it'll bring the fronts down. Now what I do is when I'm on uneven terrain, I like to get the contact point for each of these outriggers without pushing the machine up. I just want to get down to the ground, okay? So then when I push 2 at a time after it's on the ground, so I'll use 2 at a time, get it close. I'll do 1 at a time to get a contact point on each one of these. And then I'll go back to 2 at a time so that I'm lifting it up evenly, all right? And of course, the levels are here. Sometimes I can't go evenly because I have to get this offset based on the offset of the ground, okay? So activate, and then the hydraulics. Now the same thing happens here if you're using these hydraulics. This, you have to press this button and activate the hydraulics. I mean, use the hydraulics. So this activates these levers, and then these levers control the machine, okay? So you can control the boom from down below, or you control from up here. Same thing though, you see the green button? That activates those 4 levers. Those 4 levers will then allow you to move the machine, or move the boom. Now there's one more lever way back here that's a little trickier to see. And this one you don't really use that often. But this bucket self-levels. So as you're going up and changing angles, this bucket is going to level itself. Every once in a while it doesn't level itself, or maybe you have to give it a little push start to get going. This lever here will do a push start, get it going for you. Every once in a while, if it's not leveling, and this only happens at the start of the day sometimes you just have to pull this and hold it until the bucket moves, and then it'll self-level after that. So you use this lever to get it leveled the way you want it, and then it does it automatically after that. This will start the engine or stop the engine from above. So if you're going to be in the same spot for a long time, maybe you're scrubbing a gutter, I don't know, but if you're going to be in one spot for a long time, well, shut the engine off and save the gas, and then you can restart it from here. Okay, this will shut everything off, so if something's not working, you got to make sure that those buttons are pulled out. Nothing's going to work if those red buttons are pushed in, and it doesn't matter where it's pushed in, down here, up there, or down here. If these buttons are pushed in, you're not going to do anything. All right, let's keep going. I want to keep going with the demonstration and actually get some work done here so you can see exactly what you're capable of doing with this NiftyLift TM34T boom lift. All right, I'm going to start the engine back up. I'm going to get the outriggers out, and I'll get ready to get up in the boom. I forgot one thing. Before you can use those controls, you have to turn the key to the down position. Let me take you over there now. Now I can operate the outriggers. When I want to operate the boom, I have to turn this to the up position. Okay, but now we got to get the outriggers out first. That's the important thing. All right, I've got the outriggers out there, and I want to point out the fact that the wheels are off the ground. You notice how those wheels are no longer on the ground? That's what you want. You don't want your wheels on the ground. Obviously, we don't want that connected to a vehicle. We don't want our wheels on the ground. We want everything supported by the outriggers. That keeps us level. It keeps the pressure on these outriggers. And also, there are pressure switches in every outrigger. If you don't have enough pressure on those, you're going to run into a problem. So, we are level. That means we're good to go. Now when I come back, I'm going to go get my safety gear on. When I come back, I'm not going to start the engine at the engine. There is the switch up in the bucket that I showed you, and I'm going to use that to remotely start the engine and then use the bucket and the boom from there. All right? All right, I'm ready to go now. And like I say, nobody's ever fallen out of a boom lift and thought, you know, I wish I didn't have this harness on. So get a full body harness, always wear it. Whether you rent it, buy it, borrow it, whatever. Get yourself a full body harness. Make sure that you're safe up there, okay? And me personally, I like all the safety gear. So be safe, get the job done, and you'll never complain about being too safe. Remember, I'm going to start this thing remotely, so I'm going to get into the, I'm going to get in the bucket, and I'm going to start it from up there. So watch how easy that is. All right, and that's all there is to it. Did you see how I was able to get into some of those really tight spots because I could maneuver in so many different ways? And that's really the advantage of having that dual piston setup. It gives you so much more flexibility. It allows you to get into so many more places that you can't get into with a lesser machine. So the NiftyLift TM34T is really, I don't want to say it's like twice the machine, but when you have a dual piston, dual cylinder machine, it just makes such a difference in the way that you operate and the flexibility and the maneuverability of your boom lift.